Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a couple months since I uploaded a video, and I promised to keep you guys updated on how my cycle went using Clomid. And if you watched my last TTC video, you would know that the Clomid on days 5 through 9, 50 milligrams, did work. I ovulated on cycle day 20, and I got a positive pregnancy test on August 4th. Now, it was a really faint pregnancy test, and I did do a reaction video, but I decided not to upload it because I didn't like it. And at the time when we found out that I was in fact pregnant, we wanted to wait until after our first OB appointment, which would have been September 4th. And I'm going to get into what's happened since we found out and where I am now that I am 15 weeks in 2 days. So, like I said, found out August 4th. I took a digital August 5th that said 2 to 3 weeks. And because, it was my first positive pregnancy test, and it was so faint, and even though I took a digital, I still I felt kind of iffy, so I took a couple more pregnancy tests, and I have a picture that I will upload with this video so you can see the line progression, how it goes from faint to dark. And, okay, so, sorry, I'm looking at my chart here. I found out when I was 2 to 3 weeks, so fast forward around, weeks 5 through 6, I experienced some slight bleeding, and it wasn't really all that bad as I thought it was when it happened. I took myself to the ER, explained to them, I'm pregnant, and I'm just really nervous. They did blood work, they did an ultrasound, and at the time I was only 5 or 6 weeks, so they couldn't see anything, but my levels, confirmed that I was pregnant. They were at 3,000, so they told me to follow up with my doctor in a couple weeks, which was fine because I had an appointment already scheduled for September 4th, which would have put me at 8 weeks and 3 days. So I went to my first OB appointment on September 4th, 8 weeks, 3 days. They did another ultrasound. I got to see the baby, and I think it's a boy, so stinking cute. The heart rate was 168, and I have a few pictures for you guys to see. I don't want them to get damaged, so I put them in a Ziploc bag. Yes, I did. And I have a photo frame that my friend bought me that I keep in my kitchen. This is the one that I think the baby looks like Chris because it has his shaped head. Hope you guys can see that. He looks kind of evil. When I went home and me and Chris were looking these over, I was like, babe, we're having a sinister baby. Why does it look evil? But it's just because the ultrasound color and everything. And here's some more, and they're super cute. I keep these in the bedroom, and then I have the one that's framed. And then, so that was September 4th, first OB appointment. So, right off the bat, after finding out I was pregnant, I automatically assumed that I was going to have morning sickness. And to this day, 15 weeks and 2 days, I've never experienced morning sickness. Well, I will go into some details about some of the symptoms that I had, which I think are basic pregnancy symptoms, but the main one that stuck out, which was the morning sickness, because I didn't have it, I didn't necessarily feel pregnant, because these pregnancy symptoms are just life symptoms for the most part. So, weeks 7 through 9, my symptoms were extremely sore breasts, and it's actually kind of funny because I woke up in the middle of the night, and I was like, boo, this is TMI, I was like, massage my boobs hurt, and he's like, you're making this up. I was like, no, they really hurt. And this went on for a couple weeks, and he was just so great about it. He'd wake up and he'd massage me or rub my back, because it was just it was something I'd never experienced before. I know some people say that they get sore boobs whenever their period's about to start. Well, I've only had one natural period in 3 years, and that was the July period. So, and even then I didn't have sore boobs. I just had sweet cravings with that period. So, extremely sore breasts, oily skin. I don't have oily skin. I have really dry skin. I don't have acne problems, but around weeks 6 through 9, I had extremely oily skin. I would wake up every morning and have to wash my face, which isn't something that I'd wash my face, but with soap and water. But now I have to wake up, use Clean & Clear to wash my face because my skin is really oily. And throughout the day, it gets oily, and I have so many pimples. I've broken out all on my chest, on my neck, all over my face. That's not something I'm used to. So being pregnant, that's a symptom that I've noticed. My sleep pattern changed. When I first found out I was pregnant, I was waking up to go pee kind of early hours, around 2 to 4. And then I was extremely tired. It took a lot out of me those first couple weeks. And I was taking naps throughout the day. Around week 7 through 9, that kind of subsided. I could sleep through the night without having to get up, excuse me, to go to the bathroom. And then around weeks 10 through 12, I noticed my skin is still oily. Acne is still an issue, hasn't subsided even now. My appetite decreased, which was kind of strange. Like, I feel like there's a couple times where I forget to eat, and that's just me in general. Like, since I stopped going to the gym, I don't necessarily starve myself, but I just don't feel hungry. So for the most part, I eat like 3 times a day because Chris is home. I'll make him lunch and I'll just eat whatever I cook him, but I usually don't feel all that hungry. I haven't had any type of cravings. I go pee a lot more between like weeks 10 through 12, and even now I still go pee a lot more. My acne weeks 13 through 15 still an issue. I noticed that whenever I changed from the first trimester to the second trimester, I felt like a fullness in my uterus. Like when I would stand up or go upstairs, like I just noticed that it just felt like there's something in there. Like, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but I can notice a difference in my body. And because I'm overweight, like I found out that I was pregnant when I was pregnant, I was 195 pounds, but due to emotional stress and overeating, not going to the gym, I put on about 15 pounds, and I've lost about 8 of those pounds. And, you know, being overweight and being pregnant, it's not recommended that you gain a full 30 pounds. I personally don't want to gain 30 pounds. Like, I would only like to gain 15, and that's perfectly healthy. Me and my doctor talked that over. So, I haven't gained any weight really due to the pregnancy, but because of the emotional stress I did. I lost some pounds. Anxiety. I bought the book, What to Expect When Expecting, and I just kind of flipped through it, and I made little sticky notes of things that I've noticed throughout my pregnancy that is in correlation with the book. But the one thing that I kind of skipped over that I didn't notice right off the bat, but I've looked back now and I noticed it, there is a passage in weeks like 5 through 6 about anxiety and depression. And I thought that was kind of weird because that's not when I experienced my anxiety. I do have depression. I don't take any medicine for it. I was prescribed a medicine that is safe for pregnancy, but I looked it up online, and this is a different doctor. My OB didn't just prescribe this for me. It was a different doctor. And she said it was safe to take, but me personally, I just don't feel comfortable taking it. And I've looked up stats online. They say that it's safe to take, but there's not a lot of studies around it, so that just made me not want to take it. So I'd rather just deal with my emotions. So my depression, and because I put on those 15 pounds, I was extremely depressed. I have really bad anxiety now that I'm around 15 weeks. Like, going to the grocery store is such a challenge now, whereas before it wasn't all that much of a challenge. Like, I've noticed just like being around a lot of people in general, I just don't care for. Driving gives me anxiety. Just, I don't know, just a lot of things give me anxiety now. And because I battle with depression, it's just been a really rough couple of weeks, but I'm learning to just kind of deal with it and manage it, you know. And if I feel like, and I'm having anxiety, and another part of anxiety that I never noticed, like, you can get really angry. And so, like, whenever, like, little things will make me just have anxiety, and I don't want to have the anxiety, so then I get really angry, and I'm just like, I tell people, I'm like, leave me alone. Like, I need a minute to myself because I'm having anxiety. And, you know, for the most part, my husband understands. He's used to my moods. So that is weeks 13 through 15. Weeks 11, September 24th, that day I wrote it down because we had a bit of a scare. I don't know if I mentioned this in any of my previous videos, but I do suffer from obstructive sleep apnea, and I have to sleep with a CPAP machine. Well, I'm really stubborn. So that Saturday, Chris stayed home from work, and he was downstairs playing WoW. I woke up when he got up because I'm a baby. Like, I hate whenever he gets up to go to work in the morning. If I don't wake up to kiss him goodbye, like, I'll have, like, anxiety throughout the day because I feel bad. And just because I miss him. Like, we spend so much time together, so when we're apart, I have anxiety. And, so that day, normal day, I woke up when he got up, which was around, like, 6, and I went to the bathroom, and then I laid down on the couch, and not meaning to fall asleep, but I did. And at this point, you know, 11 weeks, your baby's really not that big. I don't really have a size compared. It's really small if you look it up. You know, 11 weeks. And I have a lot of stomach to begin with. So I was laying on my stomach, not thinking, you know, that it's going to hurt my baby. It's not going to hurt your baby if you lay on your stomach when you're that early. But I just felt like I did something wrong because I fell asleep on the couch, not meaning to. So without my CPAP machine, I fell asleep from around 6:30 to 9:15. Woke up at 9:15 a.m. because I had a weird, like I had to go pee feeling, and I honestly felt like I was going to pee on myself, but I wasn't. I stood up and there was so much blood. It was very just shocking. I was in shock. I went to the bathroom and I sat there for like 15, 20 minutes, just like freaking out, trying to collect myself because I was like, something's really wrong. I wasn't experiencing any cramps or back pain, which is a symptom that coincides with a miscarriage. If you have bleeding and you have extreme back pain and cramps, you need to go to the ER because you're probably having a miscarriage. I didn't have the cramps or the back pain, but the amount and the color of the blood scared me. So I went to the ER and they did an ultrasound, and my baby is so cute. He's just jumping around in there, you know, perfectly happy and active. The heart rate was good. All my blood work came back normal, and they were like, just follow up with your doctor. Well, I waited like 2 or 3 days before I called them because I don't like to bother people, and this is my first pregnancy, so I just felt like I was a bother. I waited a couple of days, and then the bleeding started again. And pretty much that day when that happened, I called my doctor. You know, it was a hot mess. I was crying. I was like, this is not normal. Called my doctor. He called me back, got me in that Friday. They checked me over. Everything was fine. And they were like, you're just one of those people who has like a sensitive like uterus. Any changes that your body goes through, you're probably going to see it. And because I was 11 weeks and the baby's growing and you're going pee a lot more, just a lot of changes are going on. So that was the last time I had any bleeding. And here we are. It's been about a month and I haven't had any bleeding. So I'm super excited. And told you guys about anxiety. Yeah, I'm 15 weeks and 2 days now. We find out the gender around, I'll be 18 weeks in a couple of days. So that's November 16th. And we're super excited. We have our family that is stretched out all over the country. I have family on the east side, Chris' family on the west side, and then we wanted to know the gender for family purposes. That way people can feel included in the pregnancy. And now that I've announced to everybody on Facebook, we told our main family first, right after our second OB appointment. And we wanted to wait until just all of the close family knew before we made an announcement. And due to some emotional issues and distressors with my family, that was another reason I decided to wait, because I didn't want to announce something and then possibly, because I had that bleeding, this was before I decided I was going to announce, but I had that bleeding, so then I decided now is not the time, because God forbid something happened, then that's another loss that my family would have to go through, and I didn't want to put all those extra emotions on people, so I waited, and I'm glad I waited for the most part, because everything's fine, I'm healthy, the baby's healthy. Found out the gender in a couple of weeks. My due date is April 15th, and that is a really special month for me because my dad's birthday is April 3rd, my mom's birthday is April 9th, and my 5-year anniversary with Chris is April 5th. I had to think about it because it's a funny story, me and him. Like, we technically started dating on the 5th, but we kind of stopped talking for like a week, and so I started it again on the 14th, but we both decided that it's April 5th because I like 5s. 5s are my lucky number. So yeah, that is my pregnancy video, and thank you for watching.